Hello everybody. This video, as you can see, is going to help us determine the unit vector in the same direction as our working vector. And what do I mean by working vector? The vector that we're initially working with. So, if you remember, when we were the video about magnitude, right, this vector here we said was 8, -4. And we said there are many vectors, an infinite number of vectors with the same component form. And so all I've done is moved this vector, so the vectors are parallel, and I'm in standard position. All I've done is I've taken this initial vector, right, and I've just moved it to standard position. Okay? And so now what I'd like to do is find out in component form the unit vector in the same direction as this vector in standard position. Okay? Before we go through that, let's remember what do we mean by unit vector, all right? Remember on the y, all right, this is j, all right? Unit vector has a magnitude of 1. On the x-axis, all right, this is going to be, sorry about that, change the color, and we're going to make that on the x-axis, that's going to be I. Okay? And so what I'm trying to do is figure out in unit what is the unit vector in the same direction as this vector a1, b1. Okay, no problem. There are a few ways you could do this. We could use similar triangles and get very creative about this, but our formula is quite simple. We're just going to say, okay, 1 divide by the magnitude of our vector, and if you can remember, the magnitude of our vector, remember the magnitude hasn't changed, I've just changed its location. Remember that was the square root of 80. All right? And I'm just going to multiply it by that working vector. All right? So square root of 80 multiplied by 8 -4. All right? This is acting as a scalar, and we know when we multiply a vector by a scalar, we simply, it's like the distributive property, right? I get this piece. All right? And there it is. I mean, that's pretty much it. You could leave your answer like that, but what we're going to do is we're going to take it a little further. We're going to see what this means, all right? So 8 divided by the square root of 80 is going to give me, oops, I guess I can't do that all at once, right? 0.89, is that right? Yeah, 0.894. And let's see, -4 divided by the square root of 80, right? Minus 0.447, right? Minus 0.447. All right? And I want you to think about what that means. So let's go back to here. Right? About minus 0.447, something like this. 0.89, somewhere over here. So our unit vector is going to be that, and that should have a magnitude of 1. Remember, easy to check if this has a magnitude of 1. Square root of a squared plus b squared. All right, and sure enough, this will be 1. Okay, that's going to be 64 plus 16 over square root of 80 squared, which is 80, which is 1. All right. Thanks for watching.